So you're looking to hit that chip shot that comes in real low, bounces once or twice, and then grabs, or a little bit further out and only bounces once and then grabs. What we need to know is how to create spin loft and then apply that into this shot. In this shot, we're looking for around 55 to 65 degrees of spin loft. The more spin loft that you can get on the shot, the more the ball is going to spin. What is spin loft? Spin loft is the difference between angle of attack and your dynamic loft at impact. So what we're looking for in this shot is we want to get pretty far down. So my angle of attack down was 7.5, and then my dynamic loft at impact was 42. So that gives me about 50 degrees. Not even that much. I could be more, right? I could be more down, or I could have more dynamic loft, so higher dynamic loft. Now, the only issue is this: if I want to hit the ball lower, well, I don't actually want to increase my dynamic loft, okay, because that ball is going to launch out here. It's going to launch too high. So I actually want to hit a little bit more down on it. People go, hold on a second. You can't hit down on the ball. You're going to fat it. That's not true whatsoever. That down does not equate to fat golf shots. That just means my club is going to come a little bit more steeper into this golf shot. So let's say I want to hit this ball with a little bit more spin. Well, I knew before it was 42, so I could keep my same dynamic loft, but I want to swing a little bit more down and through this golf ball. I can go down with the club while my body goes up, and that stops me from fatting it or really digging into the turf. However, if the ball's gone, does that really matter? Not really. All I'm looking for is I want to feel like I'm going to bring some good speed, and I'm going to swing a little bit more down onto that. And so that one I was 9 down. The spin went up. My dynamic loft stayed the same. It was 41 and a half. So now I created more spin loft, so the ball launched about the same, but spun a little bit more. This is how we create this shot. We need to get around 55 to 65 spin loft. To do that, we want to take your most lofted club. What we want to do is add address. We're actually going to open the face just a little bit. Then, so that we don't hit it high, we're going to lean the handle forward. Yes, we want to have forward shaft lean with a chip pitch shot. And again, do not fret. We're going to get down and through this ball. We're going to have a little bit of shift towards the golf ball, and we're going to have a nice descending blow into this to create that good spin loft. Now, there are a couple of things that we need before we even try to hit the shot. The first thing you need is a clean face. And I don't mean just like a, hey, let's take a towel and wipe this off. Because if you have hit shots with your wedge throughout the round and you just go to pull it out of your bag, there's going to be grime on the face. That will be residue from the grass. And if you don't have a wet towel or a wet brush to remove that, guess what? You're not going to have any friction. Friction is what creates spin. You need to have good, clean grooves and a clean face. So it's not just a dry towel. It needs to be wet, and you need to make sure you take all that residue off the face. Then we need to have a premium golf ball. If we don't have a premium golf ball and clean face, you're never going to get that spin, because we need the face to like grab into the ball to again create some of that spin. So now we've got a clean face and we've got good grooves on a great wedge. I prefer the Vokey wedges. They're what I play. I love them. Okay, and I've obviously got some Titleist Pro V1s, Pro V1X ball. We need a premium ball. Now, to hit the shot, we need to have good ball first contact. How do we have good ball first contact? We make sure that we are moving down into the golf ball. See, too many people are trying to, come in really shallow, and you can hit it. I would just say your margin for error is actually less for the shot, because you could imagine if I'm going to swing down and through this ball and I'm coming in, shallow into this, okay, I need to hover this club for so long and not touch any debris to get into that ball. If I start coming in shallow into this golf ball and I start picking up bits of grass into that golf ball, it's now going to slide up that club face. Shot's out the window. Okay, it's never going to grab. So we want to make sure that we're a little bit steeper. Now, most people are like, okay, well, let me just put the ball further back in my stance. I actually don't like that in that shot. What I want in this shot is I want this ball into the middle of my stance, because I want to make sure that I'm going to shift forward to get my low point well in front of this golf ball, as I'm going to bring the club a little bit steeper into this golf ball to get that nice down action. Because again, we want our spin loft number this way so that the ball launches lower, okay, and has still a good 55, 60, 65 degrees of spin loft, depending on how much spin you want on that ball. So again, what we want to do is, let's say this is my standard dynamic loft. If I was hit this wedge, I want to open up that face just a little bit. Then I'm gonna grip it, okay? Then I'm gonna put some forward shaft lean. Now from here, I want to actually have a little bit of left and across this golf ball. I like to feel like I'm swinging across this because again, it helps move my low point this way. A little bit more of a glazing blow. The less that we can get our smash factor, the more that we can bring speed into this golf ball. And what I mean by that is if we can get around 1 or maybe even a sub 1, so we're gonna hit it a little bit closer to the toe side of the wedge, it's gonna enable you to bring more speed into the golf ball to have it carry the same amount of distance. That speed is gonna bring more friction in. And what I can tell you is if you go watch the pros do this, it is crazy how fast they're bringing their club into a shot at such a short distance. And this is what I would say that most amateurs really struggle with because they're anxious of bringing all this speed into a short shot and then they decelerate and then they fat it. Okay, so when you're gonna practice this, go to your practice putting, chipping green and get comfortable bringing a fair amount of speed. Remember, we're not gonna have great smash factor, so you're gonna have around 1, maybe even sub 1, which is going to not have as much carry as, let's say, if you're gonna hit like a full wedge at like 1.2 or something like that. Okay, and we want to use that to our advantage. So we're actually trying to create a bit of a glazing blow with the club. Now, again, still ball first contact, but we want to feel like we're almost swiping a little bit across this golf ball. That's going to enable you, again, to make sure that you get good ball first contact, because the more down and left we get across it for a right-handed golfer, the more the low point is going to get down in your front. Again, we're going to add to that downward angle of attack. Okay, this is the down part of the spin loft. So we want this to be down so the ball launches somewhere out here. Again, low launching. So again, to recap, we want to get over top of the golf ball, middle of the stance. We want to open up our most lofted club. Yes, it's going to look crazy. Okay, then we're going to push the handle a little bit further forward, which is now going to start de-lofting that opened club face. So we're going to get somewhere around that 50 degrees of dynamic loft at impact. Then if we can get 10 down, we've got 60 degrees of spin loft, which is tons of spin loft. We get good ball first contact, and we get a ball that's coming out launching lower with a fair amount of spin. So again, ball in the middle of our stance, we're gonna open up the club face. So again, this is our normal setup. We're gonna open up the club face, and we're gonna put the handle forward. Now from here, I wanna feel like I'm gonna get left, okay, and low and across the golf ball. That's gonna help me move this way. Now, a nice little tip is as you're going left and across it, we want to work up and away with the chest as the club goes down. That's going to help us create a good bottom arc to our down so that we get good ball first contact and across this golf ball so that it launches a little bit lower. Okay, I probably could have hit that further. This is a good example, right? I could have brought more speed into that golf ball. That came up too short. So now I go, okay, well, now I'm comfortable. I know that that ball's not going to sky it over the green because my smash factor on that was 0.95, okay? So less than optimal, less than 1, which is good because now I go, okay, great. I've got down almost 10. I've got a dynamic loft of 46, which is basically a 56 spin loft, which is good. Again, we could do more. Can we be a little bit more down? Can we add a little bit of dynamic loft? And then can we bring more speed into it? The more speed we bring into the ball, the more it will carry, but then that speed makes the ball stop. Okay, so we need to trust that. What we're looking for again is that down and left and across it. That was nice and crispy. And so that's almost 6,000 RPMs of spin on a 31-yard chip shot, right? That's pretty darn good. But you need to get comfortable with this motion. So again, to recap, what we want is we want a clean face. So wet it, clean it, make sure it is clean. And even if you're gonna make a practice swing, when you make that little practice swing, if you get grass on that face, you need to wipe it off, okay? Not with your thumb, okay? That's just gonna smear all that around, and that's gonna create that mildew. You're not gonna get that friction. Wet towel. Then, good ball, clean grooves. Then we need to get comfortable, again, getting into that good setup, where we want to make sure that we're going to open that face, we're going to lean that handle forward, and then from here we want to get left and across for a right-handed golfer. Then get comfortable hitting it lower into the face. And when I mean lower into the face, I literally mean lower into the face. Should be the bottom 2 grooves. And then the more that you can hit out towards the toe of that, the less your smash factor is going to be. This is a really good example of how you want to create this shot. So again, get comfortable on your chipping green so you can bring it out to the golf course. This is how you're going to create that low launching, high spin chip pitch shot. If you have any other questions, let me know. If you need one-on-one coaching, find me on the Skillest app. I'd love to help you out. Otherwise, if there's anything else you want me to cover, throw it down in the comments. Let me know how this helped you so you can hit those better shots. And if you're enjoying the videos and want more content, please just take a second to hit that subscribe button below so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos, which is going to help you play your best golf.